Now, are diamonds really a girl's best friend? Wait until they hear about red diamonds. Most colored diamonds get their hue from other substances, like nitrogen and boron. But red diamonds are made entirely of carbon, just like the classic clear diamonds. What makes them so special is a rare chemical reaction that happens in the atomic structure of carbon. More so, these special jewels tend to look different, depending on the type of light that hits them. That's why you'll never see them presented in fluorescent light. Red diamonds look best in daylight or candlelight. Since they are expected to become rarer and rarer, the price will skyrocket too. At this point, a red diamond is estimated at only $1 million per carat. Because of their price and rarity, most pieces of jewelry featuring red diamonds only have half a carat of this unique gem. The next item on our list is the most expensive type of chocolate in the world. And for good reason, as everything about this luxurious product is special, from the ingredients to the manufacturing process to the packaging. It's called Toac chocolate. And for starters, the list of ingredients has only two things: cacao and sugar. In these fancy bars, only Nacional cacao is used, a rare variety of the bean that was believed to be extinct until it was recently stumbled upon again. There are only 14 cacao growers of this type, and they are located solely in the valley of Piedra de Plata in Ecuador. Each bar of this chocolate has a single roasted cacao bean in the middle, which was previously selected and measured by the owners. As for the price, a bar can cost about $300. Surely you've heard of saffron, but I bet you didn't know a single ounce can cost up to $60. This delicate spice is known for its flavoring and coloring properties, but it has also been used in textiles, perfumes, and medicine for many years. The price comes mostly from the complex cultivation and harvesting operations. Saffron comes from the Crocus sativus plant. Its bulb only produces 3 daughter bulbs, so they aren't many. As for the plant's flowers, not only do they need to be harvested by hand, but this also has to be done in a matter of hours each morning. Otherwise, they will rapidly wilt away. The threads are then hand-picked too and carefully dried, so they don't lose their properties. For a single ounce of this spice, 4,600 flowers have to go through this whole process. On the other hand, you only need a little bit of saffron to color or flavor a dish. Using too much of it may make your plate bitter. Now, we know caviar can be expensive, but beluga caviar can cost up to $300 per ounce. The rare beluga sturgeon is the source for this delicacy, and they're located in the Caspian Sea in Western Asia. Not only is the species endangered, but it can live up to 118 years. So because of that long lifespan, it doesn't make fish eggs for a cycle of at least 18 years. This means harvesters have to wait at times for decades before they can obtain and sell the caviar. Now, we can't move forward with our list without mentioning gold, the most famous precious metal. It had a special place on the list for people ever since ancient civilizations. Ancient Egyptians, for example, used gold for jewelry and ornaments. Similarly, the Inca civilization needed gold for various trinkets because they loved how the color resembled that of the sun. These days, we use gold as money for exchange and as a holder of value. We also need it in many pieces of jewelry. And these days, we use gold in modern electronics for several reasons. First, because of its high electrical conductivity. Second, it's easier to work with and behaves well over time, unlike me, which means that specific devices will last longer over the years. The most interesting part about gold, its value is also a social agreement. It's valuable because we all agree it's valuable now, that it was in the past, and it will be so in the future too. It may not be entirely accurate, but because of how difficult it used to be to extract gold, people view it as a scarce and valuable commodity even more. Now, bet you never thought tea could cost up to $10,000 per pot. But the Dahong Pao tea does come with this substantial price because it's only produced in a single place on the whole planet. My backyard. No, actually, it's the Asian city of Wushan. If you've never tried it, you probably never will. Today, there are mostly artificially bred variations on the market. This tea was also auctioned at a gigantic price. $30,000 would have bought you just 7/10 of an ounce of Dahong Pao tea at an auction in 2005. Man, don't spill it. Agar wood is dubbed the wood of the gods. Top quality agar wood is one of the most expensive raw products on Earth. But the way it comes to be is even more fascinating. The Aquilaria malicensis is a tree you can find in rainforests around Southeast Asia. It's responsible for producing agar wood. But first, it needs to become infested with mold. Before this chemical process, the wood from the tree itself isn't worth much. Once the tree bark has been damaged, either by animals or other natural phenomena, a certain type of fungi often begins to occupy the tree. It's called Phaelophoria parasitica, which sounds like something you don't want to eat, I'm assuming. The tree itself then sets off its own defense mechanism, which includes an aromatic resin. Over the years, this resin combines with the wood itself, resulting in agar wood. This material is then used for various types of incense, perfumes, and small carvings. 1 gallon of pure agar wood oil can cost up to $40,000. Red beryl is a rare stone found only in the state of Utah, and they are extremely rare gemstones. Just to paint you a picture of how rare they are, for every 150,000 diamonds, specialists can mine only 1 red beryl. It's also named Bixbyte, red emerald, or scarlet emerald. It was first discovered in 1904 in the Wawa Mountains of Utah. As for their value, they are estimated to be 1,000 times more precious than gold. The higher quality red beryl crystals are those that are over 1 carat, and they can be worth $20,000. Platinum is a metal you'll often hear about in the jewelry industry because it's more resistant to tarnishing and discoloration than gold. It also has other uses too, in laboratory equipment or the pharmaceutical area. It's so rare that all of the platinum ever found could be easily stored in an average-sized living room. 1 single ounce of this precious metal can cost up to $960. No list of expensive objects can be complete without antimatter. We'll need to go over some physics concepts to understand what it is. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. Each piece of matter is made up of atoms. Each of these atoms can be further subdivided into different particles, like protons, electrons, and neutrons. Antimatter is made up of antiparticles, with antiprotons, positrons, and antineutrons. These antiparticles have the same mass as their counterparts, but have an opposite charge. I'll spare you the technicalities of producing antimatter, but it's quite the challenge. For starters, we cannot touch antimatter with our hands, as it will destroy it. We also cannot store antimatter in anything that is made of matter, like regular containers. So, to safely store it and study it, special devices had to be put together. Antimatter is estimated to be worth a whopping $62.5 trillion per 0.03 of an ounce. So, start saving now. It takes a lot of energy to produce this stuff, as well as complex machinery like hydrogen colliders. Scientists believe we might be able to use it in the future for space travel. Hey, I once had some distant relatives out in Kansas named Uncle Matter and Auntie Matter. They just couldn't get along. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.